Oh, we're live.
I think we're live. Yeah.
That was the. It plays an incredibly crap bell sound effect when you click the button. Got a questions tab.
Yeah. This is
no viewers.
Gotcha. This is a new thing, so we don't know what's going on. Hello. That's me typing into the chat.
This is where we discovered it doesn't work. It works.
It does work. So
we wouldn't need to type into the chat though.
We wouldn't need to type into the chat. No, we wouldn't. I was just testing to see what would happen. And now we just have to presume that
the link's already in the
are coming to our party. This is like the bit when you have a party and you just have to wait. Are playing ourselves out of the speakers. So now we know that it has just gone live. I think maybe sort of.
Oh,
maybe
because the window was open.
I don't have a clue.
But yeah, this is like being at a party.
This is like
people.
I hope someone comes. No, it's fine. Well, I guess basically what we're doing now is we've never done this before, so we're hoping this technology is even working. Presumably it is, because we just had some feedback through the thing. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you'll have like the YouTube frame and you'll have some comments beneath it. Ignore those comments because they're going to get pretty much nuked. We might have a little peek to see if there's people who are only able to watch this on their phone on there. We might have a look later and see if there's anything of interest there. But basically ignore the YouTube comment section because we don't use them, and so they're going to get just destroyed. But there's a little annotation if you go on the YouTube video, and if you click on the annotation, if it's not there, just refresh the page.
Matt, it says someone's watching.
Someone's watching us right now.
One person is watching you now. He's somewhere in there.
So yeah, I guess. And if you're watching this on recap as well, if you go onto the pop-up tag thing, the annotation.
Yes, there's going to be an annotation that will pop up on this video if you're watching it on YouTube, I think.
Yeah, it's worth, because you can watch it on YouTube, but it's worth watching it on the Hangout page, because then hopefully, if it works, on that page there's some functionality like Q&A, so you can ask us questions and we can tag them, and we can basically go, we're answering this question now, and you should be able to do this amazing thing where you have a list of questions and you'll be able to click on the video and go to the specific question. It sounds...
We'll get better at this, guys. Don't worry.
But now I'm trying to open a bottle of...
cider.
6% cider, because we've had an incredibly long day. Do you want to give them a show of your jumper, what you're wearing?
Oh, fuck it. No, I don't, but it says keep it real.
And it's got the Banksy monkey on it. Keep it real.
I'm just going to say that we bought this. We bought a video. Today. It's going up next week. I'm not going to say what of. It's going to be a magical mystery surprise. 67 viewers. Fuck. I got actual genuine stage fright.
Oh my. Well, people are actually using the questions thing, which is fantastic.
Click the button that says got it.
Oh, so okay, got it. I got it. So basically, we've got the questions thing now. We can select.
Oh, look! Shit! Oh, let's do this.
I think somebody says, I think you should put on the regs.
Selecting question.
That's not a question, you idiot.
Niall Pudding says, I think you should put on the red sunglasses in the background, at least for a cheeky few seconds.
All right. Well, this is again part of the. This is
you've paid for. Why is it me?
Because you've got the costume on. You've got the costume on, so you might as well finish it. This is for next. This is a little weird sort of tease for next week. No, you gotta have it like
that.
I get.
Can you tell I have a large head?
That's it. You look cool now. Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, that's a good answer to that question.
So
thank you, Niall Pudding.
Question done. Yeah. So basically, that's a little sneak preview of next week's video, which we've been filming today.
So people in the future can watch this Hangout and see exactly where all the questions are. Connor Henratty says, Matt, how many shirts? Sorry, should I do this in all cap? Matt, how many shirts do you have back there? It looks like about 10.
How many shirts?
Wow.
About 10. I like the idea that having 10 shirts is crazy.
Shit.
Is that 10? Have you got 10?
He does that too. If you want to know where your Patreon money has gone, guys,
it's not in my wardrobe.
Shirts.
It's definitely not
just shirts.
I've got nothing. Like, do you notice all those clothes are really old?
I've got nothing. Matt Lee's 2015.
It's like an era of shirts. I've got some old shirts which are like crap ones when I had office jobs, and then I've got ones which were plaid shirts from when I was a game journalist, because that's what you're allowed to wear. And then plaid.
He meant plaid.
I meant plaid. And then some nice linen ones which I wear now just because they're quite soft and dry.
Should we take a moment?
Should we just take a moment
to chill out and say thank you so much?
Yeah.
For cheers. Hang on. This is to you. You got digital clinking of glasses here. Thank you so much for supporting us, patronizing us. We're just fucking happy, aren't we?
Yeah.
Look, I swore on everything. That's how happy I am.
It's quite nice. It's cider as well.
Is it?
Quite nice.
Oh, it's like actual cider. And you can tell it's actual cider because of how it tastes and because it says Oh, is that reversed?
Fliss's Village.
It says Fliss's Village.
It's from Fliss's Village. Fliss is a friend of mine.
But yeah, no, you guys have just, I don't know. I don't want to. Yeah, I want to answer your questions and have fun and stuff, but I also just want to say thank you because obviously, it's also like it was Matt's YouTube channel, and I've joined in, and you've all been like you haven't been like get rid of this guy.
One's freaked out. I think a lot of people unsubscribed on YouTube because they just thought that.
Sorry about that.
No, it's not anyone's fault. It's like I tried my best to like tell people it was going to happen on like Twitter and stuff, but. Yeah, I kind of basically people have to say maybe you should have done a video explaining it and then changed it. But I kind of wanted it to all be a big bang. I like the idea of it all suddenly being like everything's changed, and a lot of people reacted rather than with curiosity of going, "What's this thing?" and watching it, of just going, "Oh, YouTube's just spamming me with stuff I don't care about." Unsubscribe, which is fine. But people will come back. It's the sort of thing I like to.
They're already like coming back.
Oh, I'm sure.
The subs of like
new people are coming, but I like the idea of people like then years later going, "Oh my god. Why did I unsubscribe? I missed all this stuff." But who knows?
They might come back. Matt, you know what? Give me a question.
All right, let's do a question.
Scroll. Let's do. I asked for a question.
You asked for a question. No, they can upvote. This is actually a pretty nifty.
Shit.
This is a pretty nifty.
Oh
thing.
shit!
I've spent about an hour and a half trying to look at how this actually works.
This is boss.
It's pretty good.
Okay, but you don't need to give me like the most upvoted one. We can do that later. Just give me one that you think I would like. Go with your gut. Use your heart.
Okay. Well, no, I'm going to ask you the top one because it's.
I'm not looking at it.
Actually, no, it's changed now, so it's fine. Really enjoyed Hellduffers. What are you planning to co-op sort of through next? Well,
shit.
First of all, we're gonna have to a little break on that temporarily because we've got to work out what we're gonna do.
I'm gonna be in Vancouver for the next 2 months, working with Paul Dean on Shut Up and Sit Down stuff. Obviously, I'm still gonna be doing Cool Ghosts videos. I've got an idea for something involving Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. Only the patrons know that. I've not explained. More on that as I figure it out. But yeah, in terms of co-op stuff, we were thinking maybe we might do like a video diary of Neptune's Pride or something that we can play separately where we're actually against each other.
Yeah, trying to think about that, but something. Yeah, it's difficult. Trying to think of something we can play without being local.
I think a Neptune's Pride video could be really funny, like footage of us getting up in the middle of the night. You and I could both also put our own spin on it. Maybe not that, but when we come back in December. Like I just wanted to do Helldivers, not because like, oh, we need a Let's Play series, but because I love Helldivers so much. And like, you guys can see how much fun we were having. And if you watch that series from the beginning, you can see me like showing Matt being like, look at this bit, look at this bit. I think maybe another long Let's Play series for me would want to wait.
I didn't press the button to select it. It's fine. Carry on.
Oh, I'll just start talking again.
No.
But yeah, for me, like a big Let's Play series will come when the game comes.
Absolutely. I'm glad we kind of ended the Helldivers thing when we did as well, because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to see more, but it's like it was really good. But I think if we learned it any longer, it would have started to lose it a little bit. And it was nice to have it of being something that's like, this has been really good. Let's wrap it up before it gets crap. Yeah. And just being like, that's done. Yeah, and I don't know. I think it's interesting. We're kind of finding our way through this stuff.
Should we tell them about the other series we were going to do? What was that? The Invisible Ink.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're still going to do that. We were going to do an Invisible Ink thing, but we're going to wait until the kind of update has happened.
If you haven't played Invisible Ink, holy shit, it's good. Matt loves XCOM, and he's played some Invisible Ink and loves it. I've played it shitloads. Like, I played it in early access, played it after it came out. In fact, I think I did the RPS review for Rock Paper Shotgun. So the idea we had for that is going to be like when the big DLC pack comes out, we'll buy that because there's an expansion in the works. They were doing lots of small DLC, and then the audience said like, "Oh, we want something big," So Clay are doing that.
So we were going to do it, but we thought, well, let's just wait until that's out. So that'll be something hopefully we'll do like end of the year sort of thing. But it's interesting. We're still trying to find our feet with it. We know the kind of general tone of what we want to do with Cool Ghosts, and we know the sorts of things we want to talk about and how we want to talk about them. But how we do that, we're not entirely sure. So I've been doing this sort of Swindle series, but after that's wrapped up, there probably won't be anything like that for a little while. We're just going to try and focus on making sure that we have Dark Souls up once a week. And actually I'll be doing that with Joe Screvels in while I'm away. Absence.
Because we really feel like you need to be in the same room, because we just to get that nice conversation.
Although maybe you could do some some little bits and throw them over every now and then. Is
I would love to do what Quinns is doing. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we could do that.
Like a brief 5-minute thing of I don't know, like a reporter.
Just your thoughts on something.
My thoughts on something, or like an open question of this is happening in games, and here's like a conversation thing from over in.
That could be cool. That could be cool. But in the meantime, I think we're just going to try and focus on just having it so that every week we have Dark Souls, and every week we have a really good video on Thursday, and and just having that, and then when we come back, we've got some good ideas, but. We're kind of we don't want to rush into it too much. It's easy to get into the habit of feeling like you have to be a website and feeling like you have to just do things all the time.
No, we want to do good content and we want to give you guys Let's Plays, but, we want
everything we do to be good.
If you like what we've done on Cool Go so far, it's all been done to the structure of this is what we want to do this week, and we're going to keep doing exactly that. And yeah, but yeah, don't get the feeling like what's going to be the next X, because we've got, you know, Z, Y, X, B, Q. This is a shit analogy, but like we just want to try loads of different stuff.
We want to try loads of different stuff. We want to make sure everything's good, and we want to make sure that we're not going crazy and not burning out.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So yeah.
I'm gonna click done. Boom. Let's do the most upvoted, because
It's an explosion sound for you.
Alec Norton, I like this question, says, I love the Euler Surfers videos.
I think they're all right. I mean,
he loves them.
To be honest, they are excellent. I haven't actually. It's weird. Since you've come onto my channel, you've had a really clear idea of the sorts of things you want to do. And
it's
since
because
I've
I haven't
changed
had video game.
I suppose you've had all these
work.
ideas.
I've been doing Shut Up and Sit Down for years, and like I wanted to join Cool Ghost to be like, imagine if I could do videos on video games, and now I can. So yeah, obviously it's like a damn.
But now I've got this thing, and I'm like, what do I want to do? And I've got lots of ideas, but I haven't quite cemented exactly what I want to do. I'd like to come up with a series of my own of some sort, but
so
what it'll be.
He says, would you consider doing a similar series going over overlooked games of the past couple of years? Well, actually, Alec, I totally would, but I'm already doing it. And you might have noticed this.
What?
So in Euler Surfers, something I do in Euler Surfers is like, I think in the first one, I mentioned King of Dragon Pass. It's like, hey, there's this game, and it reminds me of King of Dragon Pass. And then I just start talking about King of Dragon Pass.
You did that with Infinifactory as well.
I did it with Infinifactory, and I did it with Mini Metro when I did my excellent segment on Train Valley.
She talked about other things with Train Valley.
I did. I don't really remember.
I do.
The important, but that's so. I do exactly that. Like I'd say, hey, Euler Surfers. If you're looking at that series, going, oh, what's on Steam I want to buy, then it's a nice chance for me to also go. Also, there were these forgotten games that no one covered.
Yeah,
which is, of course I have to do that, because I'm a loudmouth. I wasn't in game for 2 years, and now I'm back in video games. It's like, hey, I also have thoughts on this shit that I couldn't write about at the time.
I have been thinking about going back a little bit as well. Like maybe not necessarily just, because it's this weird thing. I've realized at the moment I've been thinking about it a lot, and thinking about how like there was this huge swathe of games, everything from like the Mega Drive up to like the Xbox 360. And there've been so many great classics, and there've been lots of people writing features about this stuff, right? Lots of people writing worthy features about
the retrospectives.
But it's this weird thing of the fact that like video as it exists now is like, you know, now we've got access to like amazing tools and capture and all this stuff. I kind of feel like maybe there is some worth in just going back and like just, especially we all also have this weird thing of like tending to treat games as being like, if it's not current, then it's not relevant.
Which is bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Like there is no, the reason that games cover like, the reason that we cover new games is because of marketing and like the endless marketing push, and all advertising money, all interest is powered by marketing. And then so you cover new stuff, but actually there's no reason why, you know, like a review of like Catherine or a video on Catherine, if you've got something interesting to say about it.
That's the thing. It's like, that's why, you know, next month or two, I'm going to be making a big video about why, like, things I liked about Bloodborne. And then, you know, it's just like one of those things where it's like lots of people about, oh, you missed the boat with that. It's like, no, it's still fucking great. I'm still doing it. But then also I have got this V for Pinata video, which is really like coming together in terms of how I want to do it and what I want it to look like.
I mean, it's just, do you have something interesting to say? Do you have something you want to say? Like, that's really where we're at. I mean, my favorite Let's Play series ever is Game Center CX, which I think I've talked about on Dark Souls before. And my God, get the Game Center CX DVD if you like are interested in old games or Japanese esoterica. It's just a Japanese comedian playing super hard NES games, and they call him like Kacho, which means like section chief. And they're like, and it's fucking weird. It's like it's knowingly weird and funny, but they all approach him and like they're very subservient, and they're like sort of like, oh, section chief, we're very sorry. You will need to finish this game. And he's like, oh, okay. And he is the manager, but also he still has to stay and finish these games, which he fucking hates. It's just funny, especially because the audience always make him play shit.
Yeah, it's just a funny one because there's already like a big YouTube like audience for like retro games and people just playing and talking about like old games, and I sort of think,
and this was before that. This was released before that, and it did it better.
No, sure, but that's what I mean. Is like it's interesting that that's already like in many ways people just think that stuff is covered by like retro channels that are all like, oh, NES cartridges, and I kind of think that's okay, but it's a bit weak, and it might be nice to kind of. It's just weird. Like it'd be nice to take some of this sort of modern approach of heart and looking at deconstructing things, but with older stuff. So,
yeah, I mean, especially because like, so what Lee Alexander has been doing videos, like a series of videos called Lo-Fi Let's Plays, which are Let's Plays of Apple games in the 80s. And the thing that's interesting about doing Let's Plays that are that old is, go for it, is the designers are around. So like she
You can
keeps
actually
doing,
talk to them, yeah.
she does these Let's Plays, and then because these are games from the 80s, the designers come out and go like, oh yeah, I don't know what we were fucking thinking when we were doing that, which is you obviously can't do now. So it's,
yeah, because people will not talk about stuff because
Yeah,
they're not
exactly.
allowed. Fair enough.
Also, Lo-Fi Let's Plays theoretically at some point might be appearing on
Yeah,
Ghost
should be on
channel.
Cool Ghosts. Hopefully,
in time. There's other stuff in the way that we need to sort out, but yeah,
yeah, cool.
I love this Q&A thing. This is
Yeah,
wicked.
this is cool. I was saying earlier when you were in the other room, I was like, Quins, this looks really good. Like, it's a really good system.
The upvote thing is, I wasn't expecting the upvote thing. It's wicked.
And this will work on video on demand as well. So if you are still watching this on after it's happened and you're watching it on YouTube, then do click through onto the link and you should actually be able to see some of this stuff live. I don't know what, because we've never bloody done it before. This is a...
Wouldn't it be great if it embedded all the Q&A directly into the YouTube video as like overlays and shit?
I know. Maybe one day, maybe Google will get their shit together. This is a good question here.
Click the button.
Yep, I forgot to do that. So this is talking about basically about a lovely thing about Shut Up and Sit Down is the fact that we got this sort of forum and basically allowing people to...
Why don't you read the question?
Okay. A lovely bit of Shut Up and Sit Down is the forum, but these confounded video games let community come together and play spontaneously. It's been a long day. We've been drinking lots of energy drinks. You'll see why next week. The CG Destiny group, Cool Ghost, seems like... I don't know why what do I have to explain that? It's a good example of this.
You're having some trouble.
CG stands for Cool Ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
Watching at home. Any plans for facilitating more matchmaking between Cool Ghosts? Yeah, we're trying to do that. Basically, I've realised today, it was quite embarrassing. Quins was like, Matt, can you press the button that lets me join the Cool Ghost Destiny clan? And I was like, I don't have to press a button. And he's like, yeah, no, you do. It hasn't. And I just like logged onto Bungie and saw this like
54 invitations.
People all saying, can I join the clan?
Which
and
have
I'm
to be
like,
clicked on
have to be clicked on
individually.
individually. So I will do that. Don't worry. But I'm just an idiot because I just thought I've done it and I haven't done it. So sorry about that. If you're one of the people waiting, you're not the only person waiting.
In December, clear your calendars because in December, when I'm back from Vancouver, I'm going to want to do the Taken King raid. So make sure you're doing nothing for any of
the
December.
whole of December.
Which is basically how long it took me to do fucking Crota's End.
Christmas, fuck it in the bin.
Fuck it.
It's done.
Into the bin. I don't think it's a... We can say our plans for the future.
Yeah, no.
We want to do a forum, actually. We really want to do a good forum, and we've done some research. Because, I don't know, like, video game forums are fucking awesome. And actually, I have a history on video game forums. The Cool Ghost community is great. The Shut Up and Sit Down forum is great. The Shut Up and Sit Down forum is currently closed to donors. We don't know if we do that again, just because Cool Ghosts, like you say, it's about matchmaking, and we think Cool Ghosts has more potential to like really be big.
Yeah.
So when we have time, and after we've like found our feet doing videos and stuff, it's
kind of a thing that we want to make sure that we don't want to like have this forum and then it just die, basically. I think that's the worst thing you can do is you can go, we've got a forum, and then it just goes.
And I already don't think that would happen.
Well, no, it probably wouldn't, but I've seen so many Ghost Town forums that I think it'd be, what we'd like to do is just make sure that we have this sense of kind of community and the comments on the side that we feel like it's comfortable enough that we could do that, and then it would be okay. Not just in terms of it being dead, but also just in terms of having it feels like it's like developing any kind of like bacteria-based culture where you have to have enough stuff there to make sure it grows properly, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Of like making sure that you have enough of the right sorts of people to allow them to settle in and create a sense of community there, so that it can't be co-opted or changed. I don't know, but it's more that we just want to make sure we don't mess it up and use crap software or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, there's also the case that one of the things we promised we'd do when we created Cool Ghosts is we wanted to create like a safe space. We want to play a space that's like that absolutely doesn't stand for like any kind of bullshit, and we want to make sure that or like anything that makes people uncomfortable. We want to make sure that if like we're small enough that we're reading all the comments on the site as well. Like we're making sure that there's like no one's being made sad or annoyed or uncomfortable.
And so far we've been super lucky with that. Like, we haven't had any problems, but I mean that will change, unfortunately.
Well, it might.
There'll come a point. We don't know when it will be, but there will come a point where there'll be trouble, and it might be temporary.
Oh yeah, I mean that's happened on Shut Up and Sit Down as well.
It happens everywhere.
So like we want to make sure that Cool Ghost is at least stable, and we know the community before we create a forum, because otherwise we might create a forum and suddenly the wrong kind of people come in.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing because most of the time with these new internet ventures, it's all about like, how are your numbers? How are you doing? Oh, your numbers are going up, and that's what.
How are your numbers, boy?
How are your numbers?
His numbers look fine.
And I guess, if we were talking to other people who've launched websites, that's what they'd be interested in. They'd be like, wanting to know how the metrics are and how they're improving. But weirdly, we're not bothered about that at all. We're more bothered about just making sure that the people who we attract are the right sorts of people, and the people who decide that our site isn't for them are, the right sorts of people. And just trying to grow it slowly, really, and make sure that we don't rush it and end up with something that's unwieldy. Because I think that's the big problem with most communities on most websites. They grow very fast, and then they're like trying to steer this crazy vehicle. So we're trying to mirror Shut Up, Sit Down. And I think the thing about Shut Up, Sit Down is it grew quite slowly. I mean, it's
you won't necessarily have to wait 3 years for a forum.
No.
Like Shut Up, Sit Down did.
We're a bit faster with these things now.
We've also done it once before. But yeah, know that it's coming, and
it is coming. In the meantime,
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be pink as shit as well. It's gonna be so pink.
In the meantime, we are doing our best to make sure that like there are systems in place so people can do stuff. And obviously, you know, one of the purposes of the kind of weekly post that we put up on Friday about what we're planning for the weekend is so, you know, feel free to just chip in and say like, oh, you know, does anyone want to play this and stuff, and just use that as a kind of temporary forum. We're aware it's not perfect, but just bear with us in the meantime, and we will do it, honestly.
And yeah, just feel free to appear in the comments and say like, what until we have a forum. Show up in the comments. Like, does anyone want to play Love is in a Dangerous Space Time? Do you want to? Yeah, I think you can send DMs on Discuss, maybe. So.
Maybe you can. I don't know, but we'll work it out.
Hopefully.
Oh god, yeah, we got a lot of upvoting going on here. So Lee Alexander and Chris Pratt.
Click the button.
Oh, I'm rubbish at this. Lee Alexander and Chris Pratt were, of course, excellent guests on the latest Dark Souls episodes. Are you considering asking other games writers / video producers to make stuff under the CG banner, either as Dark Souls guests or more independently? We've had lots of people on as independent guests on Dark Souls, and I'd like to continue doing that. It's more about just grabbing people who are able to just make it here physically, because that's the thing we think is really important for podcasts, as we've said. And also just the right sorts of people in terms of having something interesting to say, or being funny, or being interesting.
I think they're just asking whether we get them to make stuff for Cool Ghosts, and currently the answer for that is like, we wouldn't want them to do unpaid work.
Yeah.
And currently there's enough Patreon money to support us. That's fine.
Yeah.
So we've mentioned before, the only other guest we mentioned is like Lee Alexander might be doing lo-fi Let's Plays and stuff, but
we've got some other stuff in the pipeline as well. It's just a case of moving slowly with this, because
so let me just finish the
the
Lee thing, which is that that is something that she does for free anyway, because she wants to, and because it's a creative project for her. And also she might be looking into Patreon support soon. So like once that happens, like separately, and she's content doing that, then we take her on. But like as far as other people, we wouldn't ask them to do stuff because we don't have that much money yet, with some exceptions. Sorry, I'm just fucking rambling.
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much it. It's the tricky thing of the fact that the people who we would like to do things for us are mostly employed already. Yeah. And so it's the difficult thing of being able to pay them for their time and their work. And that's tricky, because if they're fully employed already, then their employers might be funny about them doing that. So you kind of have this weird catch-22 where if you could afford to pay them enough money to just come and work for you, like full time, then that would be awesome. But we can't do that for a while, and we might not be able to do that for a while. But we've got some get-arounds, and I'm hoping to be able to do some stuff with somebody else, a third person. But that's the thing of it; it takes time, and the idea long term is to make Cool Ghost a bigger thing. But to begin with, it takes time because of it's just the right people are sometimes quite difficult to pin down, and the right people, unfortunately, cost more money than we have. But there are ways to get around that, and the ways to get around that is by basically working with people quite closely, and using them in their free time, and being able to pay them a nominal fee like for what they're doing, but also having me or Quinn's taking on the body of the work. So I'm actually going to be working with someone, and it means I'll be doing like a lot of the editing and a lot of the work to make it happen. So it's really cool, and that's something I like doing as well, because it means you can actually you can get the most out of somebody else. You can actually it's helpful for them, because you're
it's super it's so good. Like the video we've got happening next week, like I'm moving to Vancouver, I'll need to buy a new monitor and stuff, and so it's in flux. So what I actually ended up doing was I wrote a script, which is what I'm good at, and I came over and I filmed with Matt, which is what I can do. Editing though, Matt's actually better than me, so at that point I'm like, peace. I'll see you later.
It kind of makes sense. It's like it's Quinn's video pretty much, but then I'm gonna edit it because I'm just a bit better at that, so why not?
Also, I mean, then the Vancouver time thing, otherwise I might do it.
Yeah, of course, you've got to do bloody houses and computer movement.
It's going to be fine. So yeah, that's other people. Hopefully, yes, but
Yeah, when we talked about the video, that's absolutely a thing. It's more of just kind of disclosure thing of just knowing that that's what we'd like to do in the future.
I mean, cheeky as it sounds, if you do want Cool Ghosts to grow, then let your friends know that this is a great channel and
Yeah.
that they should support us on Patreon, because it's just a money thing. Like we have people we would poach. We said that in the Patreon video,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's very much more of a long-term thing. Like we get enough money, then sure, we can actually just start to be in a position where we can hopefully poach people. In the meantime, I've got people like to work, but it takes time because you have to be like, oh, come and do this on the weekend. And it's kind of actually like basically means you end up being A, you're doing extra video work because you're editing and working on other people's videos, and B, you kind of have to be a manager. You have to do that thing of supporting people and working with them.
Shut up and sit down is nuts, because it's, you know, we made money and then I have, you know, loads of people helping me, and then that's great, except you would not believe how much of my day is admin.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's even people who are trying to help you out. Anyway.
If we can get into a position in the future where we have like enough money to just hire people, we have like a list of people who we would love to just poach. And it may be that in the future we can work out a way, like an alternate revenue stream of some sort, which is agreeable to us, which would allow us to do that.
Yeah.
But for
Hey,
now,
that cool Ghosts logo would look pretty good on a mug.
I know, right? I know. That's merchandise. We'll get to that. We'll get to that at some point. I promise.
You know what?
We'll
get back to the top, but let's do some silly questions, because that was a lot of biz dev.
That was a lot of biz dev. I mean, we're happy to be honest about it, but it's unfortunately these.
You guys did upvote this. If you don't want to hear us talk about the continued development of our business, then but others, in fact, I think they're doing exactly this now. Oh, that's deep. Let's do this because it's me. Because I love this. Hello, Karima. Karima asks, Halloween is not far away. What? No, say it properly. No, say it properly. Sput 0 Oki business. Do you have plans?
It says spooky
zeros.
Business.
I love Halloween more than I love Christmas, more than I love my birthday, more than I love
I don't
New
care
Year.
about Halloween at all, really.
I had a friend whose birthday was on Halloween, and he hated Halloween.
My mum's birthday is Halloween.
Oh yeah,
Explains a
is
lot.
she also a goblin?
Yeah, just like me.
But yeah, he used to hate Halloween because people would be like, "Ooh, skeletons, vampires, ghouls." Also,
I hate when people say that.
You know, happy birthday, by the way. I guess that's also a thing that is today. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
He's fucking furious.
But you like Halloween?
Oh, it's so good. It's like I love the decor. I love orange pumpkins. I love ghosts. I love supermarkets selling shit sweets that are like, it's all
about the corn things in America, isn't it? The candy corn.
Have you had those?
That stuff is evil.
Dick.
Yeah,
They're like little dicks.
They're just solid bars of sugar, compacted sugar.
Oh man, American candy is so bad.
Yeah.
I had American like chocolate bars, like not Three Musketeers, but like
Babe Ruth.
They can't do chocolate. It has that vomit aftertaste. And I read an article as to why it has vomit aftertaste. It's because there is literally the same chemical in American chocolate that there is in vomit.
I heard it was because they used to make it with. They couldn't make it.
They used to make it with vomit.
No, it's because they used to make. They couldn't make chocolate. I think it was they couldn't make chocolate with fresh milk for a while, and then it meant when everyone else in the world was like having, well, not everyone else, but lots of people were having chocolate made with fresh milk, and they had to make it with like soured milk.
They couldn't
somehow.
get fresh milk.
It was something like that, and it was this weird thing. They had to go, well, it's not quite right, but it'll have to do. But then it became this weird thing of then America got used to that taste, so they had to then just artificially start making it taste sour.
You know, coffee, like instant coffee, like granules. England is one of the only countries in the world that has that, and we got used to it because it was a war rationing measure. Like it came in because of World War II, and then like after World War II, we just got used to it. Like a lot of weird things about English cuisine.
And now they're actually selling it to America big time, you know? It's being marketed as being this like really new thing. Like, yeah, Nescafe Azura. Like I had someone from New York over here recently. He was like, oh my God, this is so cheap over here. I'm like, yeah, it's instant coffee. And they're like, this costs a fortune in New York. I'm like, why?
Before I end this question, why don't you like Halloween?
I just don't care. I think it's because it's my mum's birthday. Maybe we just never really cared about it that much. It's just like
your mum is like,
well, we don't do trick or treating.
You can't go trick or treating.
We give stuff out to people who trick and treat, but we never went because she's just like, oh, it's an American tradition that's bollocks, which she's right. So
I'm bummed that we can't see like comments. That's the one thing that's missing. Like I can't.
Well, we can. I think we go into. No, we can't.
Group chat. If you have a comment about.
Oh no, the group chat might be the for people who are doing the thing. Oh, that's the wrong thing. It might be for people who are in the actual thing. Well, we might be able to.
No, that's a Q&A. There's no real way for people to like comment
it's on the thing, but I think people are going to ignore that. So
bummer. Okay. So that's a shame. Can you get back to that? I'm freaking out because I can't see the dashboard.
Freaking out.
I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind. Where's the dashboard going?
It's coming back. Chill out.
Okay.
Chill yourself.
I get nervous.
Chill your beans, Kevin.
It's like when
if you want to see comments, then it's probably just going to be at the bottom, aren't they?
Like, I just want to, if we have a chat about Halloween, I want to know what people like say. Tell you what, we've gone for. Oh, someone just left. We've gone for. Let's do a question. I'm losing it. I'm freaking out.
Listen. Yeah,
I'm freaking out.
Just chill out. Okay. All right. This has gotten upvoted loads, so I have to answer it. Matt, when will we see the return of your cooking videos? Your sweet potato chips changed my life. You know, it was a really weird one, and I like doing those, but I couldn't do
the candid response that you gave that, by the way. It was tough, man.
No, it wasn't tough. It was more that it was like I was doing those things, and it was like it became odd because then my cooking and eating diets changed quite dramatically, and then I wasn't making the same sorts of food, and I
basically live out of a NutriBullet. Right
I've actually got like a whole. I've got all of the footage of me making a really nice spaghetti bolognese, like in DSLR footage, just on my hard drive. But it's been so long since I've done it, I can't actually remember the recipe. So I'm gonna have to actually watch through like half an hour of footage and just watch and try and work out what I'm putting into the pan at each point. I mean, like, how much garlic is that? About this much. And I would like to do it, but it's this weird thing, especially when it was just my channel and when it was just like Matt Lee's, I could get away with just being like, oh, now I'm just fucking cooking for no reason. It freaks a lot of people out, and a lot of people were like, a lot of people on Reddit
couldn't
like,
handle it.
Well, no, it was more that people on Reddit, like the omelette video I did, got like 50,000 views because people on Reddit cooking were like, "This is great," and then had all these people who subscribed, and then were like, "What the fuck is all this video game stuff?" So now it's Cool Ghost. It's a bit more kind of like, I don't know. It's a bit more focused. I probably, if I was going to do something like that, I would do it on a separate channel, and that just means basically doing
that's
a separate,
just more work.
Like... and I'm going to see, because basically the thing is, the way I used to work in the past used to be that I would just work whenever I felt like it. And what that would result in, unfortunately, was just these mad bursts of productivity when I had these sort of manic periods. And then just nothing for a while, because I then burnt myself out on this sort of fiery phoenix of video production. And that was all right. But now I'm trying to develop a system whereby I allow myself to function like a normal human being and create things and then have a break and don't work all day. So once I find myself in a rhythm where I feel like I'm producing all of the things I need to produce for all of the things, and I'm not stressing out, and I have a life, and I switch off, and I do all the things that normal humans do.
It could be maybe fun.
If I then go, you know what, I've still got a bit of room and it'd be fun to do, then I'd do it.
I mean, the thing also people should know, if you haven't seen The Opener, which is a series we did on Shut Up and Sit Down, that's a load of reviews of small games we did on Shut Up and Sit Down. You can Google The Opener, Shut Up and Sit Down. There's a whole video channel tab, and they all end with a recipe. So if you haven't seen those, there's like 12 new.
You know, I'd like to do it again, and I'm not saying I won't. And the thing is, life is pretty long, and it may well be that in like 5 years' time, I just sort of tap out and go, you know what, I'm done making videos about video games and stuff for now. And then maybe a few years later, I just resurface just making cooking omelets. Or
the
something.
thing also that you told me that is interesting is that I never thought about is making cooking videos is a pain in the ass to time everything and get footage. Like, it doesn't seem difficult. Then you think about it just for a second, and it's like, oh, fuck that.
You either fuck the footage or you fuck the food.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like,
because cooking's all timing.
Yeah.
And the idea of having to catch all that stuff.
You know, so much of this stuff comes down to it's boring, but so much of this stuff comes down to money. It's like, it's difficult and exhausting trying to do that. But if for whatever reason I had the money to just go, all right, well, I'm just going to hire someone to pop in and film me doing cooking.
I mean, that's what Jamie Oliver has, right?
Precisely.
All the TV chefs are going to have camera crews.
Why can't I be Jamie Oliver?
I would,
although I was
not film you cooking.
No, precisely.
But if you paid me, I would do it.
It's a London problem. I can't find it. It's too expensive for me, Quince. You know it.
Sorry, Karima.
Sorry. Although I have been weighing up the idea of getting a GoPro and sticking it to my head and then just having like literally a live feed of me just singing to myself while I make food.
That would actually fit, because people would watch the GoPro bobbing around, they would vomit, and then they'd be hungry for food.
Thanks.
I'm not going to answer the question about whether it's easy to work with me.
Why not? It's quick. We can answer this one day quickly.
Niall Pudding says, despite the huge excitement and craziness of launching a new site, has your life gotten easier sharing the weight of running a channel with Quins? Oh, I read that as... is sharing a channel with Quins
a weight.
No,
it's been brilliant. Actually, this week in particular, it's been fantastic in the fact that, there was like 2 weeks ago, you were having a crap week and you just basically couldn't do something in time. So you just gave me the files and I just edited the video and that was done. And last week, I was just like having a bad week. And I had this Destiny video scripted and I kind of thought I could do this, but it would have basically just been, it's a big video. It's like 25 minutes. It'll be up on the website tomorrow. I've got to edit it tonight or very early tomorrow morning. But it would have just basically been like 25 minutes of talking with just footage and no frills, because I wasn't in the mindset. I didn't have the time, and it was stressful. But just being able to go to you, oh, can you do something this week? Can you just do a video?
And I went, yes.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that, what game did I? Oh, yeah. I basically had an aneurysm because Sky Shine's Bedlam, which you discussed on Dark Souls and didn't even like, and I didn't like it either, but it was in Eula Surfers, and every time I put the Fraps footage into Premiere went, oh, this is fine, and then started throwing up everywhere.
You were like, oh, editing videos about video games is so easy. It's great. You just talk over footage. And I'm like, yeah, it is. But then every now and then you'll have a day where it will just destroy you for no reason.
Genuinely, like, I remember there was a moment where, I felt my tear duct swelling up. like it would, like, I was just angry, and then I was angry, and then like it went away, and then something else wrong happened, and I just felt it, and I didn't cry, but it's like, you know, that moment.
Yeah.
But I've always had that problem with tech. Like I particularly have difficulty dealing with tech.
It's a fucker sometimes. It really is. But no, I mean, it was awesome because it basically meant that like that bought me an extra week, and it's one of those things where like it's good to have deadlines, and I like them, but at the same time, when sometimes you look at it and you go, oh, I'm just not going to do this justice. And I knew in my head what I wanted to be like, and you know, the final video will be going up, as I say, this week, and the extra time I've just had that, just being able to have that back and forth. And you know what?
It now has a song in it. The Destiny video going up tomorrow has a song.
Don't picture it as that. It's like a very tiny bit.
It's mostly a song.
It's only about 4 seconds. It's a tiny bit, but it's got some little fun things in it, and they just wouldn't have been there. So I'm sure there'll be weeks when we're both having a crap week and nothing will appear. But just having that
Don't say that.
No, it will happen.
I mean, yeah.
Just having that ability to just go like,
you'll still get Dark
do
Souls and some kind of small.
Yeah, no, but it just like, it's nice to be able to push stuff back and have that kind of flexibility. So that's cool. And yeah, it's a lot less stressful.
And plus, yeah, you said it. It's good.
It's good. It's real good. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well.
Okay, here's what we're going to do, Matthew. Hands off the mouse. We've been answering the most upvoted questions. I'm going to scroll down.
Oh, you're going to go to the bin?
Down. Oh, fuck, there's loads.
I know, right? I feel really
bad. Whoa! Surf's up, motherfucker. Let's answer something with exactly one upvote. Oh, not...
See, that's
look, see, this is where the comments are.
That's a comment. See, I thought the comments would be.
Oh, it's Tom Kitchen. He's a moderator on Shut Up and Sit Down. Hey, Tom. Neptune's Pride would be amazing. I have fond memories of the RPS diaries of that, and a different brackets, more ghostly thing on it definitely has space. To be great. Wicked, yeah, it'd be good. Have you ever played Neptune's Pride?
I haven't, but I know Chris Pratt loved it. I might actually.
It's almost worth doing a video just to see your reaction, because everyone, like, I'd be coming back into it as a veteran knowing that like it destroys lives.
I might see if I can get Brett in it somehow.
Do you know why it destroys lives?
Just see if he wants to play it. Yeah, because it's all about just genuinely lying to people and stabbing them in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like diplomacy in space.
I'm enjoying these low upvote questions. Let's do another one, but you can pick it this time.
Yeah, like how do you guys feel about hoodies? Are they awesome? Yes/no. Yes,
says Muriati.
I mean, I don't know if I have to click done, but I just click next one maybe. I guess so.
Let's scroll up a bit. Some of these up.
See, sometimes there's a reason that things aren't upvoted.
Upvoted. Maybe just go back to the top.
Let's go back to the top. They're upvoted for a reason. But is it? Oh, this is quick. I still get this. But is it good, Matt? Yes, it's good. It's good. What? That was a fun series. I think I like the idea of doing that, but I think I'm tempted to just completely cheese people by doing something which is like a video series which is called like, this game is the best game ever. Is it the best game ever? And then just going, is it the best game ever? Just always being like, no, but it's very good.
If I did that series, you know, it would be me being like, it is the best game ever. Shane Ryan asks, I'm most interested in the humor in your videos. Really can cheer me up after a day's work. You two ever argue? Ooh, this is great. You two ever argue about what may or may not be funny to include in a video? Basically, I want to hear the warts and all cool ghosts behind the scenes. I like this question a lot.
That's a good question. We've had an interesting day for that, I suppose, a couple of days.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything about the video we're doing today. It's not an argument. The thing about me and Matt is that like we are like friends. We do work together, but we don't yet quite know each other well enough that like we're comfortable like having super emotional conversations. I've not said any of this to you. This is fun. We're not yet comfortable having like super emotional conversations that you'd have. Like when I work with Paul from Shut Up and Sit Down, I can say anything to him because I've known him for 400 years.
Yeah.
Literally 400 years.
He's a vampire.
So, but with Matt, like we'll be editing a script, and then what'll happen is Matt will do a thing, and I'll be like, I don't know about this, and Matt does exactly the same from don't know about this, And it's funny because scripts are so personal.
Yeah.
Like, and writing is so personal that if you find someone who can edit you or who you respect on that tier, it's fine because we respect each other.
I think that's it, isn't it? I think it's the fact that we both respect each other and we both are just willing to patiently take the time to just listen to each other and change things. But it is interesting because it is that thing of like, yeah, I guess I agree. It's like we know each other well, we get on well, but we haven't actually like collaborated like that enough to just have that ability to just be like immediately really blunt. So we're kind of like, and especially when we're working on stuff, especially with the stuff we're doing on Cool Ghosts as well, it's like, it's like with Shut Up and Sit Down, it's quite from the heart. So when you're like, you're editing someone else's heart sometimes, and you're like,
Yeah.
But I think it's good because it is this thing of, you know, I'm sure it will come to the same thing once I start inviting you into my things as well. We'll have the same back and forth. But I think what's really promising about it is even though sometimes it is this kind of like slightly awkward process of moving back and forth and changing stuff and going, well, it doesn't feel quite right. But what I think, especially with today, we've had the 2-day period of doing some stuff in the scripting stage and some stuff today before we started filming of having back and forth and trying to both come up with something that we're both really comfortable with. I think what we get to in the end is really awesome.
I think like that the reason it's never an argument, the reason it's always cool is Matt and I, whenever we collaborate, always gets to a thing whereby one of us will say, what about this? And then we'll both go, no. And then you'll say, what about this? No. And then one of us will say, what about this? And then the other person will go, yeah. Yeah, like it's just done.
That's it. We never get stuck sometimes, but it's only because we can't work out the solution. But when we find it, when one person goes, I know what it is, it's this, we just both completely agree. It's just that interesting thing.
Thank fuck.
But I think that's good though, because otherwise, if it was just as simple as like we just do it and everything we constantly agree on, it would just mean that nothing would be new or interesting.
No, and like we've been improving that.
That clashing is interesting.
We wait before you quit. Shane wants a wart. Is there a wart? Is there a moment where? What have we done? We did. What is a bad? I mean, Hell Duffers has been like, I've definitely said things during Hell Duffers where I'm like,
that were real.
That could be interpreted the wrong way.
It was really stressful. But I think we've been through a lot of like just stressful stuff, even like, you know, doing convention stuff like Gen Con.
Fuck,
you know, you're so tired, you're overworked, and you have to just like, you're having fun still, but it's tiring. And you know, if you can go through that without ending up snapping.
I mean, that is the case. Like with Gen Con and GDC, like Matt and I are basically by each other. Like, last Gen Con, fuck. If you haven't seen the Gen Con special on Shut Up and Sit Down, it's actually
not fun.
Again, if you don't watch Shut Up and Sit Down, it doesn't matter.
It's not really about board games at all.
It's one of my favorite things that Matt and I have done together. But that was like, we slept in the same room, we woke up together, we were inseparable, jet lagged and exhausted and stressed for 4 days.
Yeah.
And you don't argue. I mean, I had a minor fucking breakdown because before the live podcast, but you talked me down from.
And that's a strange quality as well, because actually some of my best friends, like I can't spend more than like 2 days with them. Like, actually, I've had times where I've gone away with them for a weekend or something, and like we just end up fighting. Like some of the people who I love the most in the world, I just end up fighting with them if I'm like in close proximity with them for a long time. But we seem to be able to just ride it out and not have any problems. So far. But we'll get there. I think it's interesting. I don't know any warts at the moment.
No warts.
But I mean,
just come to the next hangout, because any month now.
The next hangout will not be local.
We won't even be laughing in the. Oh yeah, for the next 2 hangouts, I'm going to be
back and forth. But it'll still be.
Well, look, it's the 30th of this month, so we could do one in Vancouver and then one like as soon as I'm back.
Yeah, that could be funny. You'd be jet lagged. Lol. This is an interesting question. How did you guys meet and come to start working together on Shut Up and Sit Down? I remember that.
It's James
Oonsley. Sorry, I've been not reading names out. I'm terrible.
You are.
I apologise.
I met Matt because he was terrible and needed help. And I was the man to help him out. You were on. That was good. You were on OXM, right?
Yeah. I was on OXM, and you popped into the office to do.
I was getting a debug.
Picking up a debug, yeah. And I'd heard about you. I think
that's a debug console, which is a console that plays like what?
It was not debug.
Hey, it's debug. We're picking
How you
up
doing,
like
debug?
You know in Animal Crossing those huge like
crazy
bugs.
That's terrifying.
Fuck them. You find it in the sea. It's like, don't pick that up. Yeah, I was picking up a debug, which is a console that plays like unfinished burned games.
New games.
to review some unfinished.
And I'd heard
review
about
copy.
you from John quite a bit, from John, to my old editor. He called you the boy Quins. Which was
Yeah,
always
that
your-
was my nickname when I was in Bath because I was doing
young.
freelance. I didn't go to interesting if you're watching this probably. I didn't go to university because I was doing freelance. I did my first work experience when I was 16, and PC Gamer threw me a few freelance.
Future at that point in history, hired lots of very young people like Andy Kelly, Steve Hogarty, lots of people who are now really good writers. They just hired lots of 16-year-olds to do loads of
I
stuff.
feel like this will be on podcasts and stuff that I've done, but I was at university and people at a party, 2 journalism students came up and said, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I'm studying fucking classical civilization. This is in Manchester. And they're like, "Oh, so you're going to get a job in like a pub?" And I was like, "No, I make money writing about things in magazines." And they were like, "Why are you here?" And I went, "Oh, fuck." So I sure paid for one term of college at Manchester University and then just went back to writing.
Oh, you made the right call.
It was
Interesting, actually, I convinced Bratters to do the same thing. Chris Bratt. He,
yeah, no, you convinced him to drop out of university.
I didn't.
You bad fucking
Actually,
influence.
that's not true. I didn't convince him. I just sort of basically when I was a video gamer, it was this thing of like I got lots of resumes from lots of people and lots of videos, and I don't know. I just watched his stuff, and he was talking about games I wasn't interested in, and his ability to edit videos and his performance abilities weren't there, but it was just something about his manner and something about the way he talked. I just thought,
I mean, you called it. He's great.
yeah, I mean, that's it. I just thought I can just listen to this guy. He's very affable. He's very nice. And I just like listening to him. And I thought, this guy's got real potential. Then we met him and he was just great. And he was really hungry to learn. And it was this thing of, basically we offered him it. And it was this thing of, he was, I think, a year or maybe 2 years into a journalism degree. And it was sort of this thing of saying to him, well, like, it was sort of saying, well, look, like, you know, I completely understand if you want to just keep doing university, but like, why are you doing your journalism? And he was doing his journalism degree because he wanted to do something like this. And it's like, well, come and do this. And he did. And now he works at Eurogamer. And I'm always incredibly proud of him.
You should be.
He's amazing.
You plucked him out. So how did we meet? I was Boy Quins. I came into OXM to get a debug. I was aware of you because of the work you did. And I was like, oh, it's my niece. And
I think basically I remember you talking about, because I was chatting to you, because at that point I was doing videos for OXM by just having this ramshackle capture kit in my other room.
How long ago was that? 4 years?
Oh, it must have been 4 years ago. Yeah.
4 years when I founded Shut Up and Sit Down, so I would have been doing shit videos.
So you just started doing it, and you were basically talking about like what the board game stuff you did, and I basically at that point, really, I think I was just getting fed up at Future because I was like lots of people at Future, busting my nuts to try and do really cool things, and nobody cared. So I was doing really good videos that were getting lots of views, and I couldn't get any kind of funding or help with that. So I was basically looking to try and do other things, and because Future had very stringent contracts, the same reason that regular features started, we just wanted to do a podcast. We couldn't do a podcast about games because Future would legally own it. So we made it about nothing.
Oh wait, when you started doing the opener for Shut Up and Sit Down, were you still working at Future?
I think so, yeah. I think I did a video for you before that, which was like a kind of, you commissioned me to review a game. I think it might have been Kings of Tokyo.
That was
which I quite liked at the time, but then now in retrospect I don't. But hey, but anyway, you were doing this stuff, and I was like, oh, I really want to make video about things other than video games. So
was that it?
You gave me a shot, and it worked. And then I started looking at your stuff and Shut Up and Sit Down. I was like, oh my god, these guys have pretty much exactly the same sense of humor as me. Yeah. And then I guess the rest is sort of.
And then Billy Cool was born.
Billy Cool.
Reference to Jake on Special.
Yeah,
it's a good question, James. Very cute.
Very cute.
Okay. They've paid for us. So Chris Wallace says, all caps, sing us a song, lads. Yeah, lovely little song.
Lovely little song, lads.
This is a lovely little song for Chris Wallace
and everyone.
Chris Wallace. He's got a little bio. He's got a face.
I can't come with you on this journey.
New Facebook chat. He's got Facebook.
He attends Bangor University. And then you have to imagine these roses just piling over my face.
And that's the vine. That's the vine that's going to get made of this hangout.
Okay, this is an easy one. We can do this one.
This one, top one.
Yeah, Joe Rob asks, do you plan to have some kind of suggestion box of games so that we can recommend games which you might want to make a video on?
I mean, that's the
already
comment.
exists.
That's Twitter and the comment thread.
Twitter and the comment thread. Honestly,
we read it all.
We read it all. So especially, as I say, on the Friday posts, when on Friday we just sort of say, hey, this is what we're going to be playing this weekend. What are you guys up to?
Yep.
We read all of that. And when we see...
Turns out.
It's crazy, I know. But it means when we see, like... 3 or 4 people like having these threads and being like, this is really good. Then I check it out.
I covered Undertale and Eula Surfers, which is a great game that you should play.
I've actually been. I was going to say.
Oh, really?
I've played a little bit. I've played about an hour of Undertale.
Oh, then you and I can talk about it on Dark Souls after this.
Yeah, because I saw people. So you talked about it in your Eula Surfers, and then lots of people in the comments was like, Undertale is great. So I checked it out.
So specifically, I included Undertale and Eula Surfers because I said I'm gonna do Eula Surfers, and then 3 people in a row went play Undertale.
Yeah,
and I did, and it was amazing.
So I mean, like, especially if it's something you really think we should check us out, the best thing to do is on Friday say, just drop a little comment and just explain why you think we should look at it.
Yeah,
and we probably will.
Yep.
That's easy. I can do that really quickly.
What?
Somebody asking, Matt, how's the dev life going? Also,
not somebody, motherfucker.
There are names. Sasha Chrysler. Chris, that's a good name.
That's a wicked name.
Sorry, Sasha, you're not just somebody. You are literally Sasha. Why am I
somebody?
Names are there. I'm an idiot.
It's literally
I'm a complete
next to the
idiot.
question.
The dev life, I haven't been doing much lately, to be honest. I was doing it in between my stuff and Cool Ghost because we had so much little admin stuff to work out that I didn't want to be putting lots of videos up in the interim. I had to wait, so I was doing that, take my mind off stuff, and I'd love to go back to it, and I'm intending to. But I've just been trying to focus on the site for now.
The world needs enemy crabs.
So I would like to go back to it, and I plan to when I have time.
Let's answer this because it's got shitloads of upvotes for some reason. Rick3 asks, what are your favorite alcoholic beverages?
This is a simple one. I don't really drink that much anymore.
That's not an answer.
I don't really drink much anymore because I find it hangovers are impossible to do things on weekends. And I like getting up early and doing things on weekends, working. I'm a productive beaver.
I do drink.
And also, I don't like drinking too many alcoholic drinks because they make me need the toilet.
Hi, everybody. Now we're alone. I can tell you that Matt's blackmailing me into doing things for Cool Ghosts. He has dirt on me. I did some impolitical things when I was younger, and fuck it, I can't keep this up. My favorite alcoholic beverages are, well, I used to be really into Scotch and worked in a Scotch bar in Edinburgh, which was really bad because I was an English person telling Scottish people how to drink Scotch. But we did have one really good patron who would come in and order like 40 or 50 pound, 20 pound drams of whiskey from the really expensive bottles. Then he would share them with the bar staff. So us bar staff could learn about Scotch, and it was good. I like Scotch a lot. Interesting thing about Scotch is Japanese Scotch is really good and only started winning awards when Japanese lobbyists forced blind tasting on Scottish people, because then they couldn't go, oh, it's Japanese. They ended up giving loads of awards to Japanese whiskies. These days, I mostly drink beer and ale, though, because I'm cheap. Ooh, fucking A. I like this question. Kona, just running the shop without that. Connor Hanratty says, Henratty, any plans to bring Cogwatch to Cool Ghosts, or is that strictly an RPS thing? The dudes at RPS, Graham, the editor at RPS, who commissioned me to do Cogwatch, I asked him if I could bring Cogwatch back for Cool Ghosts, and do you know what, Matthew?
What?
He said yes! Which he didn't have to do, and that was unbelievably kind of him.
RPS are cool because they're one of those sites that are like a big site, and yet they don't behave like they're a weird corporate machine.
Yeah, because they're
lovely.
Privately owned.
Because they're privately owned and they're nice people.
So
good news, I've got some more. Look at this. I got bought these at Christmas. They both bottles have this.
That bottle has one eye.
But they both lost one eye. I made a vine about these guys at Christmas. It was really creepy. But they both lost one of their eyes, which meant you can do this with them, and it's really fun.
Were they like fighting? Wow. Can you hold them next to each other so it looks like one, like two eyes? Oh no, it's wrong. It's so wrong. Yeah, no. So I'm going to be doing Cogwatch for RPS. Matt doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to get him to do a nice interesting for it.
You're going to be doing Cogwatch for RPS?
Wait, no, what? For Cool Ghosts is what I meant.
I was going to say.
I'm going to do it for Cool Ghosts, and Matt's going to do a nice thing.
I offered to make you. I did make you a spinny cog, but
I'll make you So I'm still going to keep the same structure, I think, as well, which is like 5 episodes, then a boss cog and a boss cog.
Boss cog.
So if people haven't seen the series, Google Cogwatch because I really like it. It's one word,
the thing
Cogwatch.
I'm still trying to work out is this is dumb as all hell, but the thing I keep trying to think about, trying to work out how to integrate it into the former series, is me having a conversation with my Snorlax toy. Which is
We had an idea for that.
I know we did.
Do you
But
wanna get him down?
I can't remember what it was. I mean, I did a little test run of like making it so that my face was on him, and it looked really creepy because of the fact that I've got kind of facial hair. And it meant that,
You can
and
not
it meant
shave?
you could I could shave, but that would involve completely shaving off my facial hair, and I look really, really.
How long does it take to grow back?
Young, not that long, but then if I was going to do that, I'd have to record all of it in one go.
Yeah, I thought that's what we.
I suppose that's
we
what I was gonna
agreed.
do.
That's what we agreed. We didn't agree on anything.
But yeah, I can't work out what to have him talk about, or what to do with. I like the idea of calling it Snorlax me anything, or
As in axe me, as in ask.
but maybe
me.
that's racist. I don't know.
We'll look that up.
It's
We'll
complicated.
talk to people smarter than us
It's
about that.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
If you don't
If in
know,
doubt, just ask.
if in doubt, there are loads of people who are really learned about this
They will
stuff.
really, really be happy to let you know. But yeah, so he's got this really great idea for a series that he's already done, and I just want to talk to it soft away.
But yeah, Cogwatch will be coming back, and I'm very excited to do it.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm excited to see more of it, frankly.
This has got some upvotes. Chris Wallace again. Chris, I can't get rid of you. This isn't a question, but I'd just like to thank Quince for making me shit myself with what was on my profile here. I've got secrets, guys.
That's good. That's at least we know now that at least we know now that comments do
Rise if they're good enough. That's great. That's hilarious.
This is another Chris Wallace question. This is very silly.
Chris Wallace, crowd favorite. He's like Spartacus. He's the hero of the people, getting pushed to the top.
Or Bane.
Have
from
you ever
Batman.
kissed? And would you like to, lads?
No, I'm not particularly fast.
About what? Which way?
Kissing you, really.
If it was in a script, if it was in the name of comedy,
Yeah, if it was something that would make it really funny, but that would be, I can't see what that would be.
Cool Ghosts Christmas special. It's just us making out for ages.
Yeah, it's not the joke I can imagine happening.
Oh, let's ignore Karima's question at the top there. I don't know what she's talking about. Definitely wasn't anything I said while you were in the toilet.
Again, any plans for fat merch?
Oh man, I tell you what, Extreme Latte. I know this guy.
Great name.
Extreme Latte is big into merch.
Is he? Are you
He's
joking? Are you
fucking.
real?
He loves it.
Are you
He's
for
so
real?
into merch. He wants to buy some merch. He wants to know. Well, specifically likes fat merch. Any plans for fat merch? I don't know.
Listen, I mean, what I will say is that one of the reasons when we started launching Cool Ghosts, I want to make sure that this is a really, really, again, you've asked.
Are you going to give a boring answer to a
biz
fun
dev
question?
Basically, it's the thing of like one of the things I did from the start, and I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that the website had a logo, which would, because this is a nightmare for anyone who's ever worked in graphic design, something which was already completely made of vectors, so that if whatever you need to do with it in the future,
I zoned
you can
out
do it.
for about 4 seconds.
And
you're talking about vectors.
The long and short of it is, it would be very easy in the future to just go, bump, can we have this logo on t-shirts? And to be honest, one of the main reasons I love the Cool Ghost logo is because when we were going through all the iterations of it and getting
we haven't talked about that, have we?
Well, we
there were
spent a
some
long time.
iterations of the Cool Ghost logo, some of which have a lot more spunk on them than others.
Yeah, and some of them which looked a kind of bit like maybe like Wassup Frogs, like from Budweiser. Some of them just looked a bit too smug. Some of it just looked a bit too, what was that name of that genre of band?
Oh, Chill Wave.
Chill Wave.
Like the
kind
thing
of
is,
Vampire
Cool
Weekend.
Ghosts already sounds like a band from LA who play kind of like guitars with a little synth that's kind of relaxed.
And we wanted to make sure that the ghost didn't look cool. Like, yeah, that was really vital to us. That it was called Cool Ghost, which was this silly name, but we wanted to not have any illusions of it looking like it was cool. Just having it a bit weird and be like, is that cool?
Yeah, we don't.
It doesn't. Maybe it is. I don't know. But also have it look like they're just these sort of slightly weird creatures having a nice time, which I guess is kind of what we are.
It's literally the logo works on enough levels.
It does.
I'm in love with it.
But yeah, we kind of when we finally got the final finished thing, we were like, yeah, this is awesome. And also like we were like, one of the big things for me is like, I wanted to be something that we could put on a t-shirt and I would wear because I just like on its own without knowing what it is, it would look cool. So that is something that's definitely on our minds. However, and this is a big however, we've, obviously, as you know, we also work on Shut Up and Sit Down, and that's the Sept website, which has been going for ages. And there are people on Shut Up and Sit Down who've been waiting for things like merch for a long time.
Yeah. The bad news is Shut Up and Sit Down will get merch first. The good news is a solution that does Shut Up and Sit Down's merch will almost certainly be able to deal with Cool Ghost as well.
Yeah, basically, as soon as we've got all that up and running and that works out, we'll probably just be able to do that. So that will be a thing. And I'm excited because actually, like, I think, we will have like black t-shirts with a logo on it, but I'm excited about being able to wear a bright pink t-shirt.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
That's going to be...
Because that looks great with our pasty white skin.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it does.
I need a tan. But not too much, because skin cancer is a big problem.
No, that got dark. No pun included says, you didn't even tidy up your room. What would your mother... Mothers. Now, this just got interesting. I didn't read the plural on mothers. No pun included appears to think that we share a bedroom, which would be within the Shut Up and Sit Down canon. However, I'm going to blow their minds. Not only do we not share a bedroom, this isn't Matt's bedroom.
It's not my bedroom, no. This is actually this is the spare room in my flat. I share a flat with my girlfriend, and yeah, basically this was the spare room. I've co-opted it as an office, but I'm not allowed to get rid of the bed, basically because I'd love to get rid of this, but honestly, I'd love to get rid of this bed because it takes up a lot of room, and without it, I could do some really cool things. I could maybe have a sofa and do lots of interesting things with Let's Plays and stuff like that, and podcasts and video and all sorts of things. But as it is, I'm not allowed because, fair enough, it is a spare bedroom and we have people to stay from time to time. So my other half says to me, can you please tidy your office? And I have to tidy it up. The reason it's a mess is because we've been filming today. So it looks like it's actually a huge mess, but it's not. It's just some stuff we pulled out. There's some hats and some coats and some scarves and a board game, Evolution, which we reviewed today on Shut Up and Sit Down, and I took out to photograph this morning at about 8 in the morning, which you could read the review of that. It's actually really funny. I'd recommend it. So yeah, it's not actually a bedroom. It's kind of an office. It's just an office with a bed. But I do need a dressing up box so I can just have all this stuff in a weird thing. He's being weird. This guy's weird. Hey?
6% cider.
But yeah, 6% cider.
Makes me a prick.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, we've been drinking energy drinks, and I actually needed this to kind of bring me down.
Our souls after this is going to be a very special.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's all gravy.
You want to pick a question? I've been picking them all.
Oh, actually, somebody's just said, I'll answer this one quickly, saying Helldufers is great, but can we expect a dedicated couch?
Sorry, who said that?
This is Kifberg. I was going to do it at the end.
Oh, fuck, because you said somebody said this.
Did I? Whoops. Editing could mess your flow, but it'd be cool if you included couch/reaction cam. Love the VO, but seeing the stress and jokes from you guys would add loads. Yeah, again, as something
That's a good idea.
It's a good idea. We'd like to. The problem I have is that you're either it's tricky because of the way that my green screen is an odd one. We can't just put it behind us.
We wouldn't need a green screen. We could have a small.
You could just have a little picture-in-picture. Yeah, we could maybe do that. We could look.
Matt and I we're not one for histrionics. It's not like we're going You're mostly just going.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like quite concentrating on the thing.
Not least because actually we're tangled up in headphones. Because we can't have headphones feeding back into the mic, so like we've got.
It's one of these things that like you see on lots of websites, right? And it would be awesome to do, but it's one of these things where you'd be amazed how much we actually managed to pull off, considering everything just lives in this one room.
Yeah,
it's quite. I put a lot of work into making this sort of quite compact, weird, like transformer style system of things that can just pop out and serve quite an impressive function. But there comes a point where having an office. We'd like
we looked into office space actually.
We did
to
look
do
into
tool space and Shut Up and Sit Down. Turns out in London things are expensive.
It's ridiculously expensive. It's horrendously expensive, and it would be
renting an office with nothing in it is more expensive than an apartment.
Yeah, and awful spaces as well. So we've looked into it. It's unfortunately not possible. And at the moment, we're both kind of locked into London for the time being. So I can't really do anything about that.
Yes, I will say, though, for the Invisible Ink thing, I definitely envisioned this. If we do an Invisible Ink Let's Play, I definitely envisioned this in, like, coats with aviators.
Actually, to be honest, for something like that, that would be nice to have a camera. Because
I won't be playing. Like,
yeah.
The idea for Invisible Ink is me as the veteran looking at Matt's shoulder. And, like, I don't know if you'll agree to this. I want to do, like, a Crystal May style thing where you can... I did this when we did a Long Dark video ages ago. And you can ask me for help 3 times.
That would be nice. And I think that's the sort of thing it'd be nice for. I think for Helldufers, you weren't missing anything because pretty much you would have just seen this.
Yeah.
and just seen as like not really doing anything. But for the next series stuff, I mean, for Invisible Ink, and I quite like to do a Darkest Dungeon when I feel like it's ready. But that would be
when
nice.
it comes out, sure.
That'd be nice to have that thing of basically it being a bit more of a leisurely game where there'd be a value to having a camera.
I actually don't know if Darkest Dungeon would work. This is an example of a creative difference happening live.
I haven't played enough of it.
I don't think Darkest Dungeon would work because Invisible Ink finishes in 7 hours and the Darkest Dungeon campaign will take like 30 or 40.
Yeah.
You want to do maybe highlights of... I think the way to do Darkest Dungeon is like you do 30 minutes of it. Like, oh, here's an exciting dungeon. I'll record this one. And then you leave it for like 5 hours and then you do another 30 minutes. So people can see big changes in your team or something. I don't know.
I'll look into it. I don't know. You're probably right. It's that weird thing of, yeah. It's this weird thing of trying to work out, classically, trying to work out a mix, a kind of halfway house between the way that YouTubers tend to function and the way that media functions, and then where we function is weird triangle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I really like this question though. Gustav Linder, you're my kind of guy. You ask, apart from Until Dawn and Destiny, Cool Ghost seems to be focusing mostly on indie or mid-tier games. This is brilliant, obviously, but are there any upcoming AAA releases you're excited about that you're considering covering on the site? For me, that's partially because I don't yet have capture for consoles worked out. So if I want to record a video on a console game, I'll have to get Matt to do it.
Are you taking your console to...
No. It'll all be PC stuff while I'm in Vancouver.
Because I'm thinking about getting, and this is literally, I'm thinking about getting a Elgato 60. So if I do, you can just have my old one.
Oh, wicked.
Which is like actually still pretty good. It just means you can only do 720, 30 frames a second, which is still fine. Like,
yeah, no, sure.
We're not people who care about frames per second, in case you hadn't noticed.
So AAA games, answer your question. I am psyched for Persona 5. That's going to be wicked. I'm going to do a video on that, introducing people to the Persona series and why they're interesting. You don't like it?
No, I love it.
Yeah, I'm jazzed for Final Fantasy 15, and I'd love to do maybe a video on like, I don't know what Final Fantasy means to me. That wouldn't be shit.
Making ramen in a car.
Making fried eggs on
in a car.
Barbecue while a big turtle watches you. I watched the trailer. I watched the Final Fantasy 15
I don't know
trailer.
anything about it, but I want to play it.
It's got a big turtle in it. It's got a car. Like you say, since I got into games, I have an uncanny ability to look at about 5 seconds of a game from a trailer and tell you exactly how much craftsmanship is involved in the entire dev team.
Yeah, no, there's a lot there. We'll see.
What are you excited about AAA?
Oh, I don't really know. You know, it's weird. It's a weird thing. I'm not really.
Destiny 2.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, it's a weird thing of like. Mostly, I like checking out little things, but the games I really love to dive into are things like, I love Destiny, and
there's got to be some AAA bullshit on the horizon.
I'm sure there is, but I'm kind of a bit out of the loop at the moment.
It's just you would have to be. I mean, yeah, we're excited about some things, but you would have to be. I don't know, whatever the next Mass Effect game is, sure, but you would have to be nuts to look at the current AAA landscape and be more excited about that than like. This is a thing, right? Wow. The side has just hit me. This is a thing. In any other medium, movies or music, people only play and look and talk about stuff that's kind of on the horizon. Well, film's an exception, but film is very marketing driven. In video games, it's the same. We talk about what's on the horizon. And if you think about music, no fucker talks about, oh man, that album in 9 months is going to be good. And I think like
they try to do that a bit. They go like, oh, they've got an album coming out, but it
never
works.
So like back. Film it kind of, I don't know. Basically, there is so much good indie stuff now. I think you would have to be crazy to be looking at the horizon and being like,
I've got to say, I try to avoid that stuff because I used to have to work in previews a lot, and it means you have to like try and get a measure of things. And the problem is that, you talk to people making these games, you play the vertical slices of things that have been designed to make them look good, and you can't help but walk away. And it's not a bad thing, but you can't help but walk away feeling quite positive about things a lot of the time. But sometimes that's not helpful. And actually, I prefer to just be in a position where I can just wait until things are available to play and then jump into them from a fresh experience. Particularly because actually, I've really enjoyed doing stuff like the Bloodborne diaries I do, and like the Dark Souls 2
Bloodborne's great.
Of actually having this approach of like, lots of people don't get it. Lots of people are like, oh, why would you want to watch this guy play a game and not know everything about it? Because people want to watch someone play it and be like, oh, this is this. But I like being able to capture that like lack of knowledge. And so I'm a bit torn actually, because there's actually one game I'm excited about is XCOM 2. And
oh sure. I think that's what Gustav might call mid-range, maybe.
It's AAA, man. It's AAA. Definitely. And XCOM sold like tons. And no, I think XCOM is now AAA as far as I'm concerned. But I'm kind of torn because I know that 2K know I like that stuff, and I might go to like a preview event and do something about it. But I'm also kind of partly thinking it might be nice just to play it without knowing anything about it.
Oh, I don't know anything, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, so I kind of I try and just completely put my head in the sand a bit and then just get to just arrive and go, oh, people are talking about this.
I mean, if anything, like, yeah, we just don't talk much about stuff that's coming out later. There's so much good shit every week. 2015 is I think, well, I said this on Twitter, 2015 is the best year for video games ever. Like,
it might well be. It's been a fantastic
I mean, the amount of shit every month, and we're not even through yet. Like, I think it's just the best, frankly.
It's been pretty great.
And so, like, why would you be looking at 2016? You know?
Yeah. The only people that benefits are the people marketing the games. So
yeah. And fuck them.
pretty much.
Welcome to Ciderquins, everybody.
You're going to read that, aren't you? Chris Wallace is getting a lot of
Chris Wallace getting upvotes. You know what? We're going to resent him. We're going to be like the Romans who were like, Spartacus, we're going to crucify you. Except instead of crucifying him, we're going to not read out his questions. I know Claire Jones. Actually, I know a Claire. I don't know if it's this one.
It's probably the same one. I think it is.
We hope. Claire Jones asks, does Matt still meet a lot of people who somehow missed the memo that he's not a video gamer anymore? And what do you think of their Miller Report universe? Would you appear in it?
I meet a lot of... Actually, I met a guy not long ago at night on a train, and he was like, oh, my God, are you Matt Lees? And I'm like, oh, no, I am, yeah. And he's like, oh...
he said, can I have your phone?
He said, I loved your stuff on Video Game. It was great. And I was like, oh, cool, man, cheers. And then he was like, oh, I'll leave you alone. But yeah, and it made me kind of think afterwards. I was like, is he not aware that I've like not done things for the past 2 years? I thought it's this weird thing because he was so fervent. He was so like genuine that I didn't want to be like, actually, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I was like, it's kind of sad that like he really loves my stuff and yet doesn't know that I still do stuff.
It is a super bummer.
It's a bit sad. But anyway, it didn't bother me too much. But I do wonder how many people out there are like that. I mean, actually, to be honest, Video Game are quite good. For a long time, they had a radio silence and were just like, you know, they were like, people said, where's Matt? And they were like, well, he's gone. So get over it. And then after there was a period where they were like, well, look, he's here. Like, and they actually just started linking people to my YouTube channel to go, he's over there, all right? He's not fucking dead. And I do sympathize with them for that. But I really like the Miller Report universe and the way they've kind of turned to characters. I think it was I felt for them because I think they had a weird time because it was this, you know, not to be egotistical. It was, I think, I kind of largely built this channel and then I left and they kind of had to work out what to do with it, and had a lot of people who understandably were like, where's the guy who I liked when I was here? And that's a difficult thing to do. But what I love that what they've done is they've completely made it their own. They've done this new thing and it's so them. And yet it's still like similar enough to what I was doing that the same people who loved it before.
Is there a way, if people came into your stuff from the Matt Lees YouTube era, like from your channel, is there a way people can see all your work on Video Gamer?
Not really, no. And I think actually some of the videos are like maybe not there anymore. I don't know. I mean,
it's kind of like when I used to work for Rob Paper Shotgun. Like, yeah, there is no way of getting to those blog posts.
It's kind of sad because it's one of those things where like it's like
unless you click back 200 times,
unless you click most watched videos on the channel.
Oh!
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. I mean, I got lucky with a run of things, and it's my fault. I got bored of doing it. I got bored of doing the same stuff all the time. But that's it. You know, the thing is, like, it's not a big deal because if I was like. And that's not a thing like that, because if I was still here getting fucking millions of views all the time, then that would be me being like a bitch. But I'm not, and that's fine because, you know, everyone has that moment in their life maybe where they just like hit it big and that was mine, you know. And if that never comes again, then that's fine.
Mine was a tweet about Van Halen, and it got like something like 20,000 retweets, and it just caught fire.
That's it, you know. And it's like I'm really grateful for that, and I'm really grateful to Video Gamer for like letting me basically do what the fuck I want and giving me the opportunity to keep firing stuff into the air until something just stuck, and it stuck in a big way. And you know, that was awesome. But yeah, I love the Miller Report and I'd love to appear in it, but I don't think they'd ever have me in it because I think Video Gamer, for fairly rational reasons, I'm sure, have a kind of slightly strange official stance on people who used to work for them. Individually, I know them all and I still get on with them well and I like them all. But I think they kind of have this odd thing where they don't really talk about members of previous press.
So dark. After you leave, you're dead to them.
It's this thing of like, you know, and I get why.
I mean, actually, magazines don't do that either.
Yeah, but I guess magazines don't get people asking, which is the difference, because magazines are kind of quite impersonal. So it's this odd thing. And I get why, because otherwise they constantly have this thing of people, you can't get rid of this audience of people going, it used to be better, which is a pain in the ass. But it is a bit weird. It's this weird thing of kind of, you feel like, it is, you know, a bit like in the wrestling world persona they've created for the Miller Report. You feel like you've been written out of the WWE, but I didn't kill any kids.
That was good.
That's a dark joke, but it's a joke, so it's fine.
Very quickly, Simon Evans says, Quins, my wife says your glass is much too small to be drinking cider from. Any plans for large glasses in future? It's 6%. It's strong. Also, like I've been on my feet acting all day. Acting.
We've had a pretty busy day today, actually. Yeah, it's been quite.
If you turns out if you drink an energy drink, then wait till it's left your system.
This one's actually 6.5.
Then drink
but it's
cider.
smaller, so it's less of it.
We're such fucking lightweights, man.
Yeah, we are.
We're awful.
We are.
Amy Flute 82, one sentence answer. You're gonna do a Sponge Squad XCOM 2?
Definitely.
Okay, that was short. Boring. Not boring. Not boring. It's just another question I feel like answering.
Fine, they can't
your
see,
questions
they
are
can't
all,
see what you're looking at.
your
so
questions
it's
are
fine.
all beautiful. Oh, let's do this. Oh, it's Chris.
Well, that's. I mean,
I clicked on it before
Yeah, you've
realizing
done
it was
it.
Chris Wallace again.
unfortunately, the thing is,
Chris, hero
not
of the
all
people.
men and women are created equal, and some people are just better at asking questions.
Turns out it's Chris Wallace. With regards to the forum, how do you love you, Chris? And thanks for your Patreon money. With regards to the forum, how do you hope to tackle the sea of shit piss, hate, and insanity that all internet forums inevitably descend to? Well,
It's like we talked about earlier. This is the plan: is wait until we feel like we've got enough good people who will then steer the ship, and then we can get them in the ship, and then hopefully, if any shit piss, hate, insane stirrers arrive, they won't last very long.
it'll be fine. I mean, the real thing is like all comments are terrible. No, not all comments, but all comments are terrible as well. And ours aren't. Ours are really good and hopeful, and we can count it on Shut Up and Sit Down that good comments translate to a good forum. So we need to make sure the comments are rock solid, and then make sure they're fine. The other answer is really good moderation.
Yeah.
Moderators who aren't just on the forums like routinely, but can talk people down from arguments. And we have, I know some of you are watching, an amazing team on Shut Up and Sit Down. Great moderators, and we'll get an equally great team for Cool Ghosts.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, we're going to basically take the time to
Shit.
get it right.
I clicked
It's
done.
fine. It's fine.
I clicked done.
We're done.
I'm
It's fine.
sorry.
We'll take the time to get it right. That's why we're not rushing into it, basically, because it is important to us. And we're just going to wait till the time's right, basically.
Oh god. We're down to. That says +1. I guess it's like based on time. Sorry, we're still learning how this works. Jamie Meisner. Sorry, late joins. I hope question hasn't been asked. Oh, you sweetheart. Are you guys excited for the beginner's guide? Going to be the new game from the Stanley Parable guy. Going to be the first game I think I'll ever bought without seeing a screenshot or trailer. Anything from the creator of Stanley Parable deserves my money.
I'm really intrigued by it, mainly because of the fact that
The screenshots look nuts.
Yeah, mainly the fact they've just gone, oh, it's out in 2 days, and no one knows anything about it.
No, like,
And there's no information about it, and that's really interesting. So actually, I'm kind of weighing up now. Like, I need to do some physical exercise. This is the sort of world I live in now. So I'm weighing up getting up really early in the morning to do a mad 3-hour editing session on my Destiny video, so it can go up tomorrow afternoon. And then if I can get that done, then it would be lovely to be able to just spend some time tomorrow evening and just jump into it. Because I hope it'll be really good. But I love I love mysterious games like this where you just don't know what to expect, and just being able to go into it completely blind. And if it's good, hopefully I might be able to then just whack out quite quickly a very vague impressions video.
whack it out.
It's just something which is like,
You almost don't want to do an impressions video.
no, I do, but
I mean, like, just because it would show off so much.
no,
of the
but I
serious
wouldn't.
game.
I do it in a way which would be
Clever.
well, I do it in a way which wouldn't show anything and just be a kind of more of a recommendation if it's good. Without, actually did that for a game ages ago, but I don't really like to talk about it because it was a recommendation for a game which I then changed my opinion about. So,
Jamie Meisner, thank you so much for joining us and being sweet and asking a question. And we hope to see you at future Hangouts. And thank you very much for your money, because you missed us saying thank you if you were late.
Yeah.
We really that sounded flippant.
You specifically missed it.
Jamie,
And
your
if you can't
money
be here on time, then we don't care.
Boom.
It's fine.
I really hope people don't think we're twats.
Oh, I think
We're just-
I mean, we've had a long day, and we work hard, even though it doesn't look like we work hard. We can answer that. It's tricky, but
I have an answer. I just didn't want to say it.
no, you go for it. I mean, the answer is the answer.
Do you have any plans for live streaming games on Twitch or YouTube or future? And this is very similar to, as asks Carl Axelson.
You almost forgot, you muppet.
This is a question we get on Shut Up and Sit Down as well. Like, people are saying, why do you spend so much time on these videos? And honestly, we would be so happy if you just churned out like Let's Plays because we like you and we want to see you. And the answer to that is that when I'm working on videos, personally, I want to produce the best possible things I can. I want to speak to people. I want to work on my like scripting and acting and editing and like videography. And Twitch is like, it's the equivalent for me psychologically of writing news, which is one of the reasons I quit Rock Paper Shotgun, like, because it wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
And actually, arguably, Twitch is like a whole different skill set, like news writing, where you can get really good at broadcasting and talking. But it's not one I'm interested in developing.
Yeah, I did a bit of it, and I was okay at it. But
I think you made fun of me because I had to do my first Twitch stream. I did one for RPS, and I was like, "This is so hard."
Oh yeah, no, it is. I mean, live broadcast is tricky. I mean, I'm okay at live broadcast, but it takes a lot out of you, and it can be satisfying in certain ways. I mean, actually, I'm really enjoying doing this. This is awesome. I'm loving this. This
is genuinely so fun.
I used to enjoy the process of doing my like monthly Q&A videos, mainly because I enjoyed how much like people enjoyed them and the back and forth. But this is like so much better. This is awesome.
Oh, this is wicked.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of these things where like it's quite draining, it's quite time consuming, and it's not very personally satisfying. It's one of those things where like the only thing you're going to get out of it is more numbers, and that doesn't actually interest me. I like to take the time to craft pieces of work that I can put out there, and I don't mind Let's Plays because I tend to like try and make sure that if there are bits that are bad, then they can just be edited out. But it's this weird thing. Also, the fact that like really you kind of ask yourself, what's the point? And this is why, as we said at the start of the video, I'm probably going to like after I finish the Swindle stuff, there won't be anything like that immediately. And if we do things, they're going to be.
If we do a Let's Play, they want to be special or have a reason.
Yeah, they'll either be a special game that will have a limited life run and we'll finish it when it's done, or it'll be more things like my Bloodborne series where it's trying to take a different slant, having more editing, having more time put into it. Just because really it's a bit pointless doing this stuff because if you're going to go straight into like the world of streaming
it's not
Let's Plays,
it's not pointless for them because it makes them happy.
No, I know, but it's this odd thing of then like the sorts of people who like to watch these things. Sometimes it's difficult because then you start to attract the sorts of people who have expectations of you to behave like a streamer or like a Let's Player.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. We want you guys to expect, I'm doing air quotes again, just the best stuff that we can make.
Yeah.
We don't want you to expect anything that we don't enjoy making or anything that is just generally there to appease you.
It became quite stressful for me when I tried to use Twitch and tried to do like really regular Let's Play stuff, because it's this weird thing. If you go, well, I'll go on Twitch and you do some streaming and people are like, oh, I love it. When are you going to be on next? And they want you to be on a lot. And the thing is, I get that, and that's cool. But a lot of the people who do these things are younger. They often start when they're teenagers. And you know what? Like, if Twitch and stuff had been around when I was 17, 18, I would have just dived into that and done it. But it's difficult now. You know, I have a life, I have a partner, or I have, like, you know, friends who I fall out of touch with really easily because I work too much. And it's this weird thing of, like, you start to actually have to go, you know, with living in the UK, if you want to do these things, you have to put them up you have to do it, stream in the evenings like we're doing now with this. That's the reason we're doing it in the evening, is because it's when most people can watch it. And you start to have this weird degradation of your life. But the problem is when you've got people saying, oh, we want you to do it, you want to do it. You don't want to be like, no, you want to keep doing it. And it's a weird slippery slope. So yeah, it's a complicated answer, but we're going to keep trying to do stuff like that. But we're going to be our own slant, with our own flavor.
We will be not streaming games. We'll be doing Let's Plays. Yeah. We'll just be making them special.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. And I get that's tough for people, but it's a big commitment, that sort of thing. And I think actually having talked to a lot of people who are like Twitch streamers who are like teenagers, they're not happy. Like I know people who talk to these people and they're like, oh, I have to work on Sundays because otherwise my community get angry.
Yeah, if you think you have a job you would love to do, make sure you meet someone who does it and look them in the eye and see how tired they are.
That's honestly a big thing. You think, oh, it's fun, but actually you meet a lot of people who are doing jobs that you think would be the most fun and they're unhappy.
I've got a wicked answer with this next question.
Go for it.
Gustav Linda asks, are you planning to make a video on the PC port of 80 days? Gustav, how do you feel about waiting?
We just fucking filmed it.
8 days.
8 days.
In exactly 8 days.
So it'll be up next week. But it's going to be really good.
Don't say that. I worked hard on the script.
Yeah, but I've got to edit it, so it's on me. If it's not good, you can blame me.
I'm very excited to tweet it.
I'll
put it that way.
We're both massive fans of the game, and it's very much as kind of
oh man,
it's very much a piece by Quinn.
It's not in the video, so I can tell these guys the GDC story. Which I don't know. Did I say this on a podcast?
I can't remember. Maybe not. Maybe.
Basically, at GDC, we were tired. We were running the board game booth, which was a lounge full of like board games to show people what was doing. That's why we were there. We went to a party and we were tired and jet lagged. And I met Meg Jayanth, who wrote 80 Days, and I burst into tears. But not like just tears in the corner of my eyes and like, oh, it's really nice to meet you. I mean, like comedy sobbing.
You had to like leave the room.
I had to leave the room because I couldn't speak, and I went to the balcony. And turns out this happens a lot at GDC. It's a very, very emotional event because we're all reminded why we do this. Yeah. And there were a couple of like executives who were from EA, like big, like comedy fat cats. Like they were so nice, they had these big suits and they're like smoking and they're on the balcony and they look at me and they've seen this before, so they go like, "Oh man, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they try and talk me down and they can't, and I'm still sobbing, and then they just go, "That bad, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and I go to the bathroom and then I got my shit together. The happy ending of that story is I'm now friends with Meg Giant, the whole story is pointless. I should have front-loaded it with the fact that she was the woman who wrote 80 Days.
Yeah.
Literally all of it.
Like a punchline all around, but it works.
You should have jumped in there.
It's fine. I'm half asleep as well.
80 Days is multiple.
80 Days is great. We both love it, and it's mainly like a kind of almost a love letter from Quinn's about why he loves the game. But to be honest, I feel exactly the same way. It's just a beautiful piece of work, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this slightly strange but interesting video about it.
Yeah, and if you don't enjoy the video, buy the game anyway and play it.
Yeah, good God,
it's good.
Play it.
Should we wrap this up for an hour and a half?
Yeah.
So like we got 6 minutes left.
Yeah. We were gonna try this for an hour, but I've been having fun.
It's just too fun. We need to record Dark Souls after this, and I'm worried about. And then I need to pack for Vancouver.
He's got to pack to get up at 6 in the morning to go to Canada. This is dedication. This really.
I am genuinely having too much fun. I like David. The people are floating comments to the top.
It's the thing we were worried about
questions.
Not seeing comments, but then we get them.
David Jen says quality over quantity. Thank you, David. Really hope everyone feels the same way.
It's an interesting one because I do know that there are lots of people who would like just lots of things because they want to watch more things, and I get that. But it's this thing of we have to kind of appreciate that actually our main audience are people who maybe don't have a huge amount of time. And I have had quite a lot of people since we started doing Cool Ghosts in our busier weeks going, "Oh God, guys, I can't keep up with all this stuff," and I appreciate that. So I kind of rather have it so that we have a nice quantity of stuff, isn't too much, but everything is really good. Like I'd love it to just have a website where everything we do is just banging.
Yeah,
like just hit.
I mean, yeah,
because the aim.
It's something that people can keep then watching for years to come. Like you don't go back and read news posts or Twitch playthroughs from years ago.
But getting there will be an interesting journey because we don't really know what we're doing.
I'm not going to click on this because it's not a question, but Naylor Ben says, part of me is trying to think of a clever, interesting question. The other part is thinking, say something about Zoomer. That'll get loads of upvotes. And it has. Good work. Good work, Naylor.
Ben. If you want to see some Zoomer action, then just go coolghost.net.
Can I do something? There's a drop-down menu. I can delete question. We don't talk about this.
We don't know.
Delete question permanently.
If you want that, go to coolghost.net/Zoomer.
Is that real?
Yeah.
I forgot you made that.
Yeah, it's been there since the old website.
Keep making music. Still looking for a good question. There's not many questions. We picked a good time to wrap this up. Wait, hang on. Wait, what role-playing games like? No, don't understand. Keep singing. Oh, fuck. These questions are all bad now. Okay. You know what? I do want to answer this.
Okay.
Chris Wallace says, frankly, I don't think you're twats, but you are tyrants holding down the approaching Wallace Empire. I'm also a skinny guy with mounty hair. You can be replaced, please.
If you think I'm no more than just a skinny man with bouncy hair, you are very much mistaken.
In all honesty, Chris, you'll find. Where's the contact email?
I am done with
Where's
this
the contact
question.
email address?
I am done with this. Next question. Gruff Owen Jones says, any chance of a big charity live stream of Bloodborne Pantsman? It could be our Christmas present. I've had lots of people saying we should try and finish Dark Souls 2. I might well do that. Either that or Bloodborne, but definitely, yeah. I know Chris Pratt is up for it as well. So it may actually end up being in the new year. We'll see. But yeah, we're up for doing that. Raise a bit of money for charity. Play some more of those games. And I thought there was another.
I see a question I want to answer.
Okay. It's a question for Snorlax.
Creamer asks, hey, Snorlax, what are your plans for Cool Ghosts? Are you in reference pair an item yet? Hang on.
You're on Snorlax.
I do. Snorlax, what do you think of that question?
Do that voice.
I think that's a stupid question. I don't like you. Go away.
Snorlax, that's very rude. God, I turned into a children's TV presenter. I swear I could have been a children's TV presenter in an alternate, less sweary universe. We've got, what's this?
Regression? I like this. Regression asks, what are you teaching each other? Let's make this the last question because it's a nice one to end on.
Yeah.
Silence. That was the most English response. Regression.
I know what Quinns is teaching me. Quinns is actually teaching me to work with other people. Because that's something I've not really done for a long time, if I'm being honest. I used to be...
I'm of intrinsic value just existing, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, well, no, I'm an asshole. That's the problem. And, I used to be... When I was at OXM, I was a writer, and I was aware that I wasn't a terribly brilliant writer. And so I was very eager to learn, and I happily listened to advice from everyone around me. And I would completely just happily slip into the role of just being somebody who was just wanting to just learn. And then I got into video, and I found I was quite good at that. And then there have been people I've worked with in video who I was sort of like kind of felt like I was sort of equal with. But then like I got really into it and I kept going. And then the people who I was sort of collaborating with, they kind of stopped. And then it became this thing of being like, well, I'm like much better at video than you are now because I've been doing it longer. So, and then it became this thing of being like, well, I worked in groups and I didn't really have the opportunity to work with people who were like much better than me. And actually that was the awesome thing about like getting to work with Charlie Brooke on the TV thing, of just working with people who were better than me and having the chance to go back into that role of just shutting the fuck up.
If people haven't seen the Charlie Brooke thing, what's it called?
It's called How Video Games, I think it's 25 video games that changed the world.
Give that a Google, you can probably buy it.
It's probably on YouTube illegally. It's not a bad show. It was made for a mainstream audience and I'm pretty proud of the work we did on it. But it was awesome to be in this environment of just being like, happily just going back to being like, I'm the guy who just shuts the fuck up and listens because I'm learning again. And I love that. But the problem is that the more work you do and the more you get good at stuff, the more you get to a point where it's difficult to find reasons. This sounds really arrogant, but it's difficult to find reasons to stop and listen to people because if they're not as proficient as you, then often you can't learn as much. And the thing is, I like working with Quinns because he's fucking good and he's got challenging, interesting things to say. So it's good to be able to work with someone who like, I actually like I can't just be the guy who just goes, well, this is how we're doing it. And everyone else just follows, which is, I guess, it's probably just a bad trait of mine,
it's not necessarily arrogant. It's also the fact that what we talked about earlier is that like, there aren't many video games journalists who are like
really good at video.
Well, that's not what I was going to, yes, but what I was going to say is who are just older. Actually there's not enough of us that
that's
are
true as well.
But also people, when you're our age, like people, like my colleagues or people just a bit older than me are like dropping like flies, joining developers. Which means that then, of course, you don't have many people who, who can look up to or learn from because you've been doing it.
They've left
the most long.
Yeah, you're. That's it. I think that's actually a big thing is that you are like the most experienced people there. And also, it's this fact that unfortunately the way it works is that publications hire their little golden gooses, and so it means you have these people who are really good, but every publication has one of them, and it just means you kind of split across. And it's like this thing of like it's like
so you rarely get the chance to work together.
It's like Steve Oatey's an amazing writer, but we couldn't work together because it's this thing of being like, well, no publication can afford both of them, and it's this weird thing of like there are lots of people I love to work with, like I'd love to work with like Jim Trinker, but it's this weird thing of being like it becomes this weird shuffle thing of it's very rare that people in the same place at the same time. And when I was in the same place as Chris Bratt, who's fantastic, it's because he was mega fucking junior, and I had to help him out a lot with stuff, and now he's great. And it's the weird thing of when people get to the point where they're genuinely brilliant, I'd love to collaborate, but you can't because the pieces have been moved. So it becomes this weird game of chess that largely boringly relates to money. And it's only when you have a brilliant situation like this, when you have two people who are willing to kind of go out on a limb and do something like this, that you can actually work with somebody who is a peer of worth, of real worth. But no, I just love that I've got somebody to actually like bounce off and work with, and not just be the person in charge, because it's kind of you don't learn.
It seems good. It's good. My answer is a lot simpler because I found a Shut Up and Sit Down. That's been my main job for like 4 years. But I was working with Paul from the beginning, so I never needed that. But I had no one to learn video from. So like, as much as you've been like, really honest and emotional there, my answer is just simpler because I just can learn fucking video. And Matt's really good at it, and he's really into it, and I can learn endless like editing tricks.
Like, you know how to do this and this. It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, and then also, which is the problem with Cool Ghosts is that like now Matt and I are working closer together. Rather than learning, I end up going, Matt, can you make me an intro for Eula Surfers where I'm surfing and like but it's like on numbers, like it's a digit, and then he makes it. And it's just
but no, you you know, not blowing your trumpet, and you are clearly getting a lot better at video editing. And when I watch stuff you're making now, it's like it's way better than it was before. So
which is good. We're learning. We're all learning.
But
It's
yeah, no, it's exciting to be able to work with people because I don't really know anyone else who's got the balls to just do something like just being like, yeah, I'll come and do this crazy thing and not work for a big corporation. But
It's not well, whatever it is. It's good. It's good.
It's awesome. It's awesome. But I hope that was an answer that made me look like a dick.
No, it's all good.
It
Should
might
we give
have
the patrons a hug?
Let's give the patron. That's weird, isn't it?
Is it? No, like I mean, we show the patrons that we hug.
But we hug. Okay.
Like, look, it's not weird. It's like, look, oh Matt, I like working with you. Like, oh, if you enjoyed that hug, leave a comment on the Patreon. They're not going to enjoy it if you pull that face.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I like working with him a lot. I wouldn't have fucking made a website with him.
Yeah, you're kind of committed now. So we're going to say the things we say at the end of the live hangouts that I guess we decided on now. Thank you for watching. More importantly, thank you for donating. This wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, the questions have been awesome. I've had a lot of fun.
I mean, like the whole channel.
Asking, but yeah, I mean the whole channel.
But this has been fun, like not so fun.
This has been great fun. If you're watching this afterwards and you're thinking, well, how can I do this next month? Then basically what we do is we do this monthly hangout, and we do it for people who are Funwraiths, who are people who donate $5 a month or more, get to come in, ask questions, upvote stuff. But everyone can watch the video afterwards. So
is that I thought this was just going to be for Funwraiths.
No, everyone can watch it afterwards.
Huh?
We won't put it on the main site because it's like not really content. It will just be on the Patreon page. But we'll put a link up. So if people really want to watch it and they're not like, don't have the money to support us, that's completely fine. We don't want to lock anyone out. We don't want to create walls. And the cool thing about being a Funwraith is, as we said, is this. You fund stuff for everyone else, and that's awesome. It's like you just want these things to exist, so you're doing that. But thank you, yeah, because I think we've had a really exciting kind of month and a half with Cool Ghost. It's early days, but hopefully you guys have been enjoying it.
I mean, we're just still full of ideas and stuff to do, and it's gonna be genuinely so excited for the future.
It's cool. It's cool.
All right,
and, but thank you very much for joining us this evening. It's been a lot of fun, and for those of you watching at home, thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Time to record Dark Souls.
I finished my drink.
Bad luck. You don't clink with glasses. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.